and welcome to another episode of Councillors Update here on the Serenity Resource Connector. Whether you're tuned in live or you're watching the replay, it is a pleasure to have you here. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. I am Winsome Sharir Witter, your host for this program. And just in case you missed the other episodes, we are having discussions with the councillors from across the parish of Clarendon. We have already had discussions covering 4 of the divisions. So these 2 are going to make 6 of 22 divisions that we are engaging with the councillors. Hey, Donovan, thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you. All right, so we have with us, we're going to be changing things up a little bit for this episode because the councillors that we have on, if my memory serves me correctly, they are from 2 different parties, but they have divisions serving the same people because they might be separated by maybe a road or something in the different communities. But let me have them tell you more about that. Joining me, Councillors Noel Nemahard from the Kellits division and Anthony O'Connor from the Crofts Hill division. Gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing space with me here on the Resource Connector. Northern Clarendon, cool hills of Clarendon. All right, great. So we already have some people with us live. And so we are going to get the discussion going because we have quite a bit to cover. So we're going to start with Crofts Hill in terms of communication because the areas covered, I know the terrain of Northern Clarendon. And although Councillor Mondo would have shared some bit based on his section in Frankfield there, I know in terms of Kellits, it's not just Kellits, but you have some overlapping section coming all the way down into Trotall and all those nice areas down there where the nice ugly fruit and all of those stuff comes from. So tell us in terms of communication, how do you communicate with the people in your division?
Good night, Madam Moderator, Councillor colleague, those online going live. Good night to my councillor colleagues watching, and good night to the officers of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. But last but not least, to the constituents of Crofts Hill and Northern Clarendon who has caused me to be their councillor. Yes, I would say communication can be helped now easily with social media, with the WhatsApp groups, the many WhatsApp groups, and having your people in most of these communities. It makes communication a lot better because the division is very wide because of the topography. It's a hilly area and it is very wide, but we get the communication to the people for them to know what is happening or what will be happening in the communities.
All right. Is that the same for you, Councillor Nemard?
Yes, it's same for me. Tell me their phone call, and I do a lot of round robin, so I connect with a lot of my people in and out.
Okay.
Yes, so I do round robins and things like that and parties. So sometimes I join the round robin just to meet with my people them most of the time in my division.
Meeting them where they are. All right.
Yes.
Great. Happy to hear
because
that.
I'm an in the street councillor.
All right, great. Councillor colleague Barneswell is greeting y'all. And we have Cecilia giving you all a shout. And we have Romeo Mitchell from over there in Palmer's Cross. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always great to have you. Ramona was reminding me about Arthur Seat. Right. Great. So in terms of development, infrastructural and otherwise, what's going on up there in Kellits and Crofts Hill? Started with you, Councillor Nemard. What's going on up Kellits in terms of development?
Well, Kellits is a fast developing town at the moment, you know. Very, very busy town. You understand? There's a lot of personal business that's going on in there as my colleagues talk about the farming era and things like that in the era. I would like, as I said, one of the biggest problem we have right now is the main road with the taxi them where we are trying to require some land through the parish council to get some land to make a transport center and things like that. I would love to get a fire station. One of my ambition is to get a fire station in the town center of Kellits. Before the pandemic, they come there and look at the site already. The other day, the mayor talk about it at the last council meeting, said they're gonna do the one in Lionel Town first and they're gonna come to Kellits. Those is some of the thing I'm looking forward to in my division, especially in the town of Kellits. The market have a lot of potential, but it need to be upgrading. You understand? And I hope the MP can come on board with the municipal corporation and say if we can develop that market because you have a lot of potential in that Kellits market. My colleagues say early on, Kellits, people talk about St. Elizabeth. But I said to one minister already, said they must pay attention to this community up here, this area, Northern Clarendon, because we have food basket constituency. When you talk about vegetable, you name it, everything, we cultivate it up here.
Indeed.
So that brings a lot of economic
awesome
life to things.
Councillor O'Connor, what variation you have in your division in terms of development?
Well, infrastructural development is primarily one of my concern and one of my main area. They recently through the NHT and the municipal corporation, we have a small housing scheme, the Morant housing scheme. The road was upgraded because this housing scheme is one of the first 100 housing scheme that was built by the NHTs. That housing scheme has a lot of civil servants, teacher, firemen, nurses, etc. So they can breathe a sigh of relief now. We continue through the PRF to do improvement to the road network, the parish council or the municipal corporation road network, so that the constituents living there can feel more comfortable when they get off the main road. Just like my colleague said, we have a main road from St. John to Kellits. It is in a deplorable condition, but at least through the municipal corporation, we continue to improve the roads. You would call them the avenues, the lanes, to ensure that when a family comes from work or from market, they can comfortably reach to their place of abode. But as I said again, agriculture is the #1 economic activity that takes place in my division. Apart from taxi, the taxi industry is growing significantly, but agriculture again is still the main source of economic.
Right. Awesome. You said PRF just now. Is that the Parochial Revenue Fund? All right. So we are learning. I hope you have your notebooks ready.
And I must say, it is not a big sum that we get, but the workers from the parish council, the technical team, try to give the divisions a very good job that really satisfy the citizens living in the respective streets and lanes. We think that in the near future has to grow. The sum is 3 million, we can say it because it is public fund. It is money that the people who license their vehicles in the parish, a portion is given back to the parish council, the corporation. But I believe with the amount of roads that the municipal corporation has, in kilometers, we have more roads than central government. I believe we are not treated fairly in comparison to the central government or to the MP. Recently, we were promised patching where we could patch one of our roads. To date, we haven't received such. I want to use this medium to call on the minister to honor the promise, not for Anthony O'Connor, but for the constituents of Cross Hill Division.
All right. And I'm hoping that the minister will be responding, because with the recent announcements from the debate, you're supposed to be getting some great roads, especially for the farming community. I know it's been suffering for a long time because it costs more when those produce get to central or northern Clarendon, because the transportation cost alone hike up the price. So we want to make sure that that is taken care of. All right. Shelley and Nemard giving you a big up. Sir Nemard. Love it. All right, great. So we were talking, as we were on infrastructure, we were talking before we came on about the street lights. Share some more with us as it relates to what's going on with street lights, Sir Nemard, up that side, because we know the importance of having proper lighting.
Yeah, well, honestly, I've been disappointed in JPS lately. We never used to have so much problem like what we have in now. Because we used to get some street light, we could have called JPS managers first time when Mr. Sayers and all those managers were there, and we could ask them if we recognize a place that dark. We could call them and tell them, and ask him if we could get a street light or two, and they will come and give our request. But lately, we even have a big problem now because we have in street light theft in my division. Because over 7 street light I'll steal from the post. And I'm wondering who is stealing all those street light. So we're having a big problem with street light. And we need the old street light them to change out, because the LED street light, they promise us, but there's a lot of areas haven't been changed up to now. So honestly, I'm disappointed with JPS at the moment, very disappointed, because we have a lot of dark places in my community and my division where I'm not pleased about. Up to today, I was in Cricket River, and a gentleman from Collington, the first thing he approached me with is about a street light not working, and he need one at a certain spot. So we're having a big problem with street light. And I hope the minister in this budget will allocate more than 10 street light. 10 is not enough. I would mind if he double it to 20.
Because there's still communities without street lights, plus those that are being stolen.
Probably community, I don't know. I think community have street light, but not enough. Probably one or two, not enough. You need a lot more.
Okay, maybe the distance
because
between.
for them to turn on a community with light, with street light, they have to put a few there. So, but we need a lot more. That's a big challenge, Ms. Witter, in the division. And I'm sure my colleague share the same sentiment.
So I trust that the JPS representative for Clarendon is taking note and will be making representation to get the resources moving so we can address some of these challenges. Because together we can do so much more. But right, moving from the infrastructure to environmental concerns. What are some of the environmental concerns in that area, and how have we been addressing them? Starting with Crofts, Sir O'Connor.
Thank you. We have a serious problem with the environmental state of the division. The Pinders Valley, which is a watershed area where it leads into the Ryomino. It needs the intervention of the forest department to prevent persons from cutting down trees in areas that it would affect that watershed. For Bullhead, I can recall that it was replanted under the Lift Up Jamaica project. And with the deforestation still continues, I think we need continuous replanting in all of these areas. The British area, which falls in the division, and the Bullhead in the Brandon Hill area. Because these can only enhance relief rainfall, which we are suffering now. We just get a trough that gives us a little drizzle. But if we have these practices continue in place, it will help in the future to enhance relief rainfall. With, with garbage, fine is so small that people continue to litter the place. The parish or the region receive new trucks, but we still have the regular collection of garbage. It can improve in this area. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it is still bad.
All right. So I trust that the respective agencies are paying attention, but we'll be sharing the recording so that they can address their specific areas of concern so we can get things moving. What's going on up there in Kellits, Sir Nemard, where environmental issues are concerned?
Well, one of the biggest issues we used to have is the garbage collection, but I get a lot better these days. We used to have a lot of problem, but these days it get a lot better. You understand? I think the most problem we have is sometime in the market because a lot of person from community where the garbage truck up down to that community, they bring it into the market. So that's the biggest challenge we have at the moment in the market. But on the main road coming down from roadside to Kellits in my community, Seven Ground community, it's get a lot better since we received those new truck. And if there's a community call me with some problem with garbage and I take up my phone and call Mr. Bennett, the officer from MSWMA, I have to take off my hat to him. He's a wonderful officer to have. As you call him, he respond. And if he can't make it that day, the next day now pass and he don't make it. So that used to be our challenge, but it's getting better at the moment.
Happy to hear that. Is that the same officer that serves all of Clarendon or just your area?
The northern part of Clarendon.
Just the northern part?
I think
Okay.
in northern part, from Thompson Town, Frankfield, Union Town, Kellits and Cross Hill.
Okay. All right. So they need to make it control.
He do his best. He do his best.
That's great to hear. All right. So big up to the officer from Boris again.
NSWMA.
MSWMA, Mr. Bennett. Mr.
Okay.
Bennett.
So Bennett, keep up the great work that you're doing, and we are trusting that other colleagues across the parish will join forces so that we can have similar reports from the other divisions. Amazing. All right. Outside of farming, I know there are a lot of businesses, especially in the town centers across the two divisions. What would you say primarily, Councillor O'Connor, are the businesses in your division other than farming?
Well, small business continue to strive. And of late, I have noticed a few wholesales because, Kellits is really the town center where most of the shopping activity take place. But in Crofts, I've seen the growth of a few more small businesses on the rise, and outside of that, nothing else really.
What's going on in Kellits, Councillor Nemard?
Well, Kellits is a town center, as my colleague said. So there's a lot of things booming. You have quite a few wholesale there. You have quite a few small clothes shop. In the Kellits market, there's a lot of business. So the Kellits is booming. It's booming at this time. And outside Kellits, same way, because I run a retail and wholesale up in Mason River, same way, and it's not going too bad either. And you have in Douglas Castle, same way. So it's okay. It's a larger area.
Okay.
And I don't think most of the business people, they are happy. They are happy with all things going at the moment. I'm being the councillor for that division. I'm happy too. Because when they are happy, I'm happy. Especially the hardwares. Person come to me and say they never so much cement from the day they opened business years ago. They never sell so much cement. You understand? So the
construction taking place
is booming. Yeah, it's booming.
All right.
Hardware. So the hardware is booming.
Right. So would you say that the businesses that are there are adequate to serve the people in terms of the variety of businesses that you have, or are there other businesses that you think these divisions could benefit from?
No, I didn't catch the first part of the question.
In terms of the businesses that you have there, are there other different types of businesses that you would want to see in this space based on what their citizens are saying, or do you have a wide enough variety of businesses?
Yeah, there's a wide enough.
But
But
in
there's
terms of
still room
employment,
for
what's going
improvement.
on? In terms of employment, how is employment in that area?
Well, in the Kellits division, you know, I've said, because it's a farming area, as my colleagues could tell you, especially up in the hills, like Douglas Castle, Mason River, Reckford. You are the fine person when not doing something. Because if they're not farming for themselves, they can employ by somebody else. You understand? So it's not bad. It's probably about, in my opinion, about 80%.
Okay. What about Crofts?
Well, a lot of self-employed persons are there, of course. And from time to time, persons will get job in the construction industry. But there are no factories there. There are no BPO centers. So the employment is, I would say, there are need for growth in the employment in Crofts division. What I would want to look at the division, there were 3 centers to win Councillor Nemard's division: the Crooked River Center and the Kellits Center, where young persons would receive training through heart. And of late, they are all closed. But there's a center in Crofts that I would love to see reopen. It is a concern of the citizens, where that it can be used even as a homework center, but more so where heart could come in and train persons and cause them to be marketable in various areas, whether local or abroad.
That's great, because now with the fees being taken away from the heart, trusting that there will be greater access, not just removal of fees, but there will be space to take in our young people, because our heart is on the move. Go ahead, Councillor Nemar.
I think Crooked River don't close complete. I think first activity still go on in Crooked River one, at the Crooked River Training Center. But the Kellit one need to reopen.
Okay. So that's heart?
Yes.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Many youths have earned their certificates there and are now employed in the hotel industry and also overseas, especially the Kellits Center.
All right.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm sure the parish manager, Sir Zika Brown, will be seeing this at some point, so you can get some work done, because I know that they're very active and always ready to support the different communities. I'm happy you shared, though, that they not only got certificates, but they're actually utilizing those certificates to gain employment. All right. Based on a sharing earlier, Romeo Mitchell is sharing that she believes that the councillor and other community groups with the forestry department can do a tree planting project. Labor Day is just around the corner. So that's something, make it a grand affair. It would be great to see some of that taking place across Northern Clarendon.
Good.
Yes. So you can get the videos and the pictures, and so we can see what's going on there. All right. So we have quite a bit going on. Social services. I know social services concerns may be different for different parts of the parish. So what's going on in Crofts Hill where social services concerned, their housing, all those good stuff? What's going on there?
Well, it's like you heard the news today. We normally get building assistance where we could assist the persons in need, whether they are indigent. But that was on a temporary hold. I learned today that the minister announced that we will start receiving allocation again, where we can assist the social needs of the persons who are in need. But outside of that, because you would have known, the councillors does not receive any assistance where you can give assistance to give them any social assistance. But we are hoping that in the near future, we will receive same. We assist with back to school, where we can give vouchers to students, funeral grants, and building assistance. I learned just today that we should receive some assistance in those areas.
Right, great. But outside of those, we hear that the Ministry of Labour, they have this allocation of grants, and for some reason they're not able to disperse those grants. Is that still the case?
No, we have officers who works in the community, and that would not just check on the path people or the persons who are receiving their pensioners. But from time to time, they would check on the persons who are vulnerable, and whatever assistance, be it sometimes they receive where they can raise some chickens to assist on a subsistent level with their families, etc.
Okay. So would you say your constituents are aware of these different options, where to go, or do they
Yes,
get information from?
yes, we give the informations just in the same way we would communicate with them. And with our going around sometimes into the communities, when we run into any such case, we normally make note and point out to them where they can go or get in touch with the officer. Because some persons who can't travel down to Maypen, for example, the officer will get to them.
Awesome. I trust that those who are tuned in here or watching the replay can share this, so persons will know that yes, you're in northern Clarendon, but there are options to get the assistance without traversing to Maypen, because I'm sure that will be a challenge, especially for our senior citizens where that is concerned. Any difference in Kellits, Councillor Nemard, in terms of the social concerns?
Yeah, well, if my memory serves me right, I think up to last year we get from welfare fund, like I think about 500,000 as a welfare fund to deliver care package and stuff like that for the division. And as my colleague said, they were supposed to start get back some building grant, because since the pandemic that did abolish a bit for a while. And the minister announced that we'll start get back some building grant where we can assist the less fortunate and some housing and things like that. But the good thing about it, the MP for this area, he do a lot of social in this constituency, all over the constituency, because the central government get more assistance more than us. And he do a lot right through the 3 division. Because update, you have person can go by his office right through. If they give me a call, I'm not gonna say Mr. O'Connor might have that privilege and thing like that, but I can tell you he give a lot.
Certainly not.
Yeah, he give out a lot of social. He don't stop help. You understand? And that's one of the good thing about the MP that's here at the moment. He help a lot.
That's great to hear.
And so he always help out. You understand? So I have to take off my hat to him when it comes to welfare.
All right, that's great. Because, yeah, I'm smiling because when participated in a workshop last year, and learned about the allocation for the different funds. I didn't realize that there were so many different funds that disbursed through the MPs. But the accountability is really there, because if we actually watch what's going on, it's always on YouTube in terms of them having to account for what they do with the funds and all of that. So it's great to hear that it's been spent in the constituency and people are actually benefiting from it. But in terms of what's going on in the schools in your divisions, are there any joint up intervention where schools concerned to assist some of the behavioral challenges that's taking place? I know Councillor O'Connor, you shared that you sit on one of the school boards. What's going on in that area?
Well, outside of, there is nothing that really can connect us from the municipal corporation as it relates to the school. But as a chairman, and it's coming to the end of my tenure, when I meet with the PTAs, I normally bring them back to the days when we used to go to Sunday school, because that is the place where we normally start our reading from and learning some religious education. So, and it teaches you also the basic things in life. So I normally ask them to ensure that their child/children still continue to go to basic school instead of staying home and just being on the gadgets all day. Because these are some of the things. I must tell you, I heard from a principal that in a primary school there are gangs, which was very surprising. And the guidance counselor would have gone to the parent to find out what is happening in the home. But I believe we still have to stay close to the parent and ask them not to leave all on the teachers, because they alone can't do it. So I still do that.
All right, because even though you're counselors, I'm sure there are times when you have to play the role of a counselor. Yes.
We do. Even though not trained in that area, you have to take on the role, because people do listen to you. So you do take on the role.
Like a weight.
With the level of crime, we can't allow some small matters to escalate. So we try our best. And we are blessed in a sense in the parish where we are not littered with homicides, but we do have domestic problems. And we try our best.
All right, which is very important because the concerns may vary, but it's our challenge is just the same, and we all have to work together. Talk with Kento is saying in order to accurately address behaviors in schools, early intervention is a must, definitely. And the team at the Early Childhood Commission, they are doing quite a bit. There's quite a bit of their promotion PR in terms of the protection of our children. So we want to continue to support them in getting the information out there. All right, we have come to this segment where we want to hear from you. What's your vision for your division? And so we're going to start with Councillor Nemard. What is your vision for the Kellits division?
My vision is to see a Kellits division free of potholes. My vision is to see a fire station in Kellits. My vision is to see a upgrade market, top of the top market in Kellits. My vision is to make sure water reach every corner in my division. And I think with the municipal corporation and the MP, Mr. Sibbles, I think we will reach that goal. I want to tell you something. The CEO for the municipal corporation, he come from the hills of Kellits. So he have to have a vision for up here too. So I will be knocking down his door as I always do to assist in my division. And we're not gonna leave off of my MP either to make sure say this division and this constituency and the people of this constituency and my division get what they deserve, because my division is a hard working community, and the people them work hard, very hard, and they deserve nothing but the best.
All right.
And as long as I'm them councillor, them are going to get the best. It's gonna take a time, but they are going to get it. I mean, on top fight for it.
They're expecting you to do that.
Yes.
Right. So
I
see
just want to
Macadam saying that Mason River needs water and road.
But at the moment, we have a big water project. This water project started in 2007 under the guidance of me and Mr. Larry Bradgick. Then it continued 2011 under Mr. Horace Daly. And then it fall back in the hands of Councillor Nemard now. So we have to make sure that the people them get their water. And I'm very pleased about it, because I'm the person who start that water project up in Bullhead with Mr. Peters that write the project, and Mr. Maraj bring it to rural water. The person that went to Bullhead with me to identify that water, I have to dig them up. Mr. Riddell Arnsby, Mr. Bannick, and Mr. late BG. He passed away, Mr. BG Arnsby. So I'm very pleased at the moment with that water project. You understand? Because them testing it now and them fixing the leak, and sometimes they turn it on and the people them catch some water, and I'm very pleased about it. Okay. Because I'm the one who started that project in 2007.
Awesome. And your vision seems to tie in perfectly with the parish vision. So yeah. That sounds like we have a plan already.
And I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased for this forum to express my feelings and send out the thing. That's the plan we have, because sometimes, I know very, very often I think we should get this forum more often. You understand?
All right. Talk to the CFO and make sure that it's in the budget.
Yes, and remember with the investment opportunity coming up tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that and see what can bring to the division of Kellits.
As you mentioned that, let me just share so the viewers can take note of that before we go over to Councillor O'Connor to hear his vision for Crofts. Let's see what's going to happen in Kellits. All right. So there we have a collaborative initiative that's going to be taking place in Kellits. So for those who are in that vicinity, be sure to go on out and support and share the information so that as many of our young people as possible can take advantage of that event. Councillor O'Connor, your vision.
And Ms. Witter, I should remember the transport center. That is one of the things we really need in Kellits.
Yes, I think I saw that in plan.
All right, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes, I've listened to my colleague, but there are facts. You can check for facts when you're ready for some things. But for me, my vision for the division would be parallel to the council's vision, where I am trying my endeavor best along the constituents to work for better communities through commitment and to achieve the following: a very good infrastructure, road network, better water distribution to all communities, a safer place where people can feel free to live, work, and raise their families, and also to ensure that the dispossessed and the unfortunates are taken care of.
Seems like the plan all condensed nicely there indeed. As you were sharing, I was visualizing the local sustainable development plan. Those are the key areas, right? And I remember those are some of the highlights that are there. And just in case all have not seen this schedule, we have councillors update for the year, except for August, when we're going to be having updates on the Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan. So you want to stay tuned for that to see what's happening where that plan is concerned. There are going to be some updates taking place, and so we want to stay abreast of what is going on and to see where these divisions are in terms of achieving the different visions for each of them. So do stay tuned. All right, Romeo, I have a suggestion here. Being that both divisions is mainly agriculture based, have you ever thought about turning the entire area into an agrotourism community?
That's a very good suggestion. We'll take that on board along with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Tourist Ministry.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Northern Clarendon, you get to that stage where you're not only providing for yourself, but you're also exporting to other neighboring parishes. Go ahead, Councillor Nemar.
I remember, as you mentioned, that we just about half an hour from here down to O3, so it can link. Yes, just half an hour drive from here to O3.
So, great fit. So
Yes, it's a great suggestion, as my colleague said.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to see you all coming together to get it done.
Yes.
And then we have a bullet mountain up there.
There you
bullet
go.
mountain up there. And we have a river fall. We have a river fall in my division. Share with me and Mr. Darson in the Union in Collington. Yes, there's a nice river fall there that tourists come and visit sometime.
We have some hidden gems in Clarendon.
Yes.
Gotta unearth them so more of us are aware of what's going on and take advantage of it, and not just for the tourists.
Yes. In my colleague division, we have some good river down in Arthur Seat and things like that.
I haven't been to Arthur Seat since I got lost.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Yes. You think our main thing now is to get all those roads up and running.
Yeah, indeed. Because there is some really great spread of land in those areas. So we want to make sure that you have easy access and the infrastructures are in place so we can spread out more and not everybody just sticking so close to each other. So you feel comfortable and you can have more people coming in to visit, right? Because we have a lot of Clarendonians in the diaspora.
Yeah.
All right, let's see, Ramona. If northeastern Clarendon is not short of viable water resources, how can we surmount the challenges of tapping into these resources for domestic distribution and use? What are there projects up that side? I'm sure there are some projects up that side where rainwater harvesting and those other projects are concerned. Anything outside of that?
No, the municipal police have a few water system up there, but no, not.
Okay. So here's another suggestion here that we can look into, because I know there's a lot going on in terms of the farmers, very innovative in getting the water that they need to water the crops, but there's something else to consider. What is being done to help guide the use of these divisions? All right, go ahead, Sir Nemard, and then we take this one.
Yeah, especially in the Johnsville Forest, we have a lot of water ponds that dig by the road. Even today, the farmers them come together and get one of the excavator and was cleaning them because the last drought we experienced, they realized that they need to clean them. Yeah, so that's in the Johnsville. That's close by where I live.
Okay.
And then in the Bagwell area, we have a big water pond out there, and then farmers like me and other farmers, we have some little small pond that if those ponds go low, we pump water from that source into our small source, because the government provide a big diesel pump out there where all of us can just go through gas oil in it and take it full water resource.
All right, sounds like you're really doing some creative stuff up there in Northern Clarendon. All right, what about this question? What's been done to guide the youths in these divisions?
Well, there is no structural setup, but in my division, we have community groups, youth clubs, and some of these youth clubs are run by people who the youths look up to and mentor them. So in that respect, we used to even have a police youth club. I think it's dormant now. But through these clubs and community groups, the youths are guided by the seniors and the persons in the group that the youths look up to as their mentor.
Awesome. And you all want to tune in because we are going to be having Fifth Thursday where we have the youth leaders in the parish are going to be coming on to share. And interestingly, that's one of the areas that they're going to be talking about in terms of their plans, those dormant youth clubs. So you want to tune in to hear what our youth council and the police youth club leadership are up to for this year. All right, Shelley is saying that Kellits would love to have a storage. I'm not sure what kind of
storage. Cold storage.
Okay, all right. So make note of that. Macadamond, how about the garbage situation? We talked about that earlier. So feel free to watch the replay to catch up on that. All right. The Mason River Protected Area would make a good tourist site where we find the only species of the Venus fly trap. All right. Interesting. Awesome.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that one because a lot of tourists too and outsiders visit that area and a lot of school kids go there to project and things like that.
Amazing. You see why we all need to get more community people to come on and share so we can learn some more about some of these gems. That's so nicely tucked away. Okay, so Barnes has said the hills have great potential. All right, Ash Wednesday activity at Bullhead is a family fun spot.
Yeah.
Councillor O'Connor, you want to take this?
Well, it is something that has been going on for many years, over 40 years, where on Ash Wednesday, all roads lead to Bullhead, where family goes and picnic and just travel through the hills. But since COVID, the activity went dormant. But I believe come next year, we will be having the Bullhead activity once again. The Benevolent Society, I'm sure, along with the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, will start the planning sometime in November, December, that come February, all will be in place to welcome the people of Jamaica, not just Clarendon, to the Bullhead Mountain. I think geographically, it is the third highest mountain in Jamaica after the Blue Mountain and the Drunkrow Mountain. So it is a spot where people look forward to.
Indeed. All right. Councillor O'Connor again. It is being overrun with taxes. What is being done to regularize these unruly taxes?
This is Councillor Nemard.
Councillor Nemard. Yes, Councillor Nemard.
Remember say the last thing I close with that we need a transport center.
Yes.
So we need a transport center. Because I agree with that person, and as I said, we need a transport center. So get the taxi men them off the street so they can go in the transport center. And that transport center we create employment. We can set up small shops in there and things like that. And so it will good for Kellits.
And just to assist my colleague, I believe we have to go the way of probably compulsory acquisition. The land that is available, as you know, down by Brian's Crescent, there is land there, but the persons don't want to sell. So we have to make up our mind as a council and as government to do compulsory acquisition. It's something that on a Saturday, the traffic taxis are on both sides. People can hardly walk into the town of Kellits. So it is something that is becoming not just of urgent need, but it is also an emergency.
And even when the school is over, when time school let off the student them, it's really crowded out there. Yeah. Okay. When school dismissed, really crowded out there, just the same as on a Saturday.
There's a concern here. Will they go there? One was set up nicely in Frankfield years ago, and we had a very hard time getting these taxis to the park.
Well, it's gonna be down to the municipal enforcement team and the local police to ensure that happens.
That's right.
Because
Get it all
at the
in order.
moment, we have a good enforcement team at the municipal corporation. Very good one. And we ought to employ some more to ensure they use that park.
All right. Awesome. See, time flies when we're having fun. There's so many
Yeah.
things going on. We are less than 3 minutes to the top of the hour. That's all right. Any other activity that's coming up other than the what we shared earlier in investment fair?
Not at this time, Madam Witter.
Okay, beautiful. Let me thank you both for sharing space with me here on the Serenity Resource Connector, more specifically on Councillors Update. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, we do this on third Thursdays, 8 p.m. live, Central Standard Time. And we are going to be looking at two other divisions come next third Thursday, God's willing, as we continue to take you across Clarendon to let you know what the
Ciao.
councillors are doing in their respective divisions. All right, so it's not just to sit in the council meetings. Last year, we went through the activities, the services that are provided from all the departments and divisions at the municipal corporation. So if you missed that, you can check out the playlist to see what the different representatives had to share and how you can access the services there. All right, so we have some notices coming in. The Northern Clarendon Summer Camp, okay, was a very good youth development program. Will a youth program similar to this be reintroduced?
Well, before the pandemic, it did still continue. But I'm gonna say, well, now the pandemic is over, so I hope it come back on stream. I will talk to the MP and see what plan he have for that.
Great. All
Well,
right. Anif is
well,
making an announcement calling all chefs, cook shop operators to get certified by Heart NSTA Trust. Go ahead while the time runs down.
no, I'm saying as it relates to this summer camp, which is a camp that has been going on for over 20 years. I believe that camp also has helped to guide the youths of Northern Clarendon. It is something that the former MP used to fund from the CDF and even before the CDF, the SCSP. And I believe that this MP should continue because it is a good project.
Mr. Horace Daly and Mr. Bradrick, both of them did continue it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both former MP.
All right, so let's keep the good stuff going. Thank you again, councillors. And for the councillors who joined us and shared, supported their colleagues, it's great to see. And just to, since I'm on the side, seeing what's going on, it's councillors from both sides
Thank you, guys.
to share that they are all, I see them at the council meetings, they are
Yes.
all friends. All right, so don't get caught up in partisan politics. All right, so bear
And
that
thank
in
all the
mind.
guys that joined us tonight also. Thank
Yes.
you, Madam Winsome Witter,
Pleasure.
for having us.
Yes.
And we're looking
Yes.
forward for another.
Likewise.
My
Likewise.
pleasure. Right, just remember to
Yes.
keep sharing the link. They're all there, so whatever you missed, you can go back and see what's going on. Thank you all again. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.